I got to say something though, because I'm all in with you, and I'm excited about this. I know you talked a lot about it in the headlines until we get to the point about this regulation coming down the pike. That is not a good idea, in my opinion, when you have widespread. So I appreciated the conversation you had with Hester. I thought she did a good job. For just personally, it's encouraging to know that somebody with, I don't know her, but just what I perceived from listening to the interview was she's very down to earth.
Yeah.
Very personal responsibility. And I can't tell you how much I respect and how much we need that a lot more in government. But, and this isn't a knock on her, but holy hell. When she broke down the process of how shit happens and how regulations come about, if anybody thinks you need more rules and regulation, just look at the process they have to follow.
The process, and that's the reason even in China, they say, you know, like in China, if they want something done, they pass it and the government passes it in 2 seconds. Not 2 seconds, but you know what I mean? But here, the whole entire process going through the legislative process.
There's got to be room in the middle there somewhere between back and forth.
You know what the process is about, though, Dan? I mean, we all know the process is about everyone in the middle from going to, hey, we need the changes to, okay, we're going to sign this. Everyone in the middle has to get a payoff.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
Yeah,
so that's what it all is. It's like, who's going to get? Oh, you want me to approve? Okay, fine. Okay, you need. Why do you think people change their minds when they need another 3 or 4 votes? How do they get them? How do you think they get them?
Absolutely.
I mean, they're going to sit them down and say, hey, you know what? You know, why don't you just vote for us because you know you're really cool and we're cool. No, here's what we're going to do for you. We're going to give you this, and this. Okay, cool, deal. I'll vote for you. That's what it is. So, you know, going down
less. You just need less steps to take.
Yes.
Let's start with less.
And look, guys, I know for crypto, guys, we have a lot of crypto people that listen to this podcast. I'm not talking about full-blown regulation, but you have to have regulation to where you know your money's protected, just like at E-Trade, just like you have insurance on this thing. You're going to be paying taxes through the IRS if you're making money. You need this in order for the industry to scale because it's only going to scale if you get institutions in it. And institutions aren't going to come in unless you have this common sense regulation, right? So we'll see what happens. I think it's coming, and a lot of other people, like Morgan Stanley, thinks it's coming because they're investing big money in this industry. And you're going to see a lot more money pour into security tokens. Which is
absolutely. Exciting. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a good thing.
To Bitcoin, holy cow.
Yeah. Yeah, how about that? Real quick on the billionaire thing. So did this happen on the 17th? I don't know what day this. So Iron Finance has this Titan coin, stablecoin thing that went from, at one point it was $65-ish to basically zero or fractions of a penny of zero. And it also, at some point, it was around a $2 billion market cap. Now, in today's world, hell, that ain't nothing. So, you know, $2 billion is zero. Nobody cares. It did get some recognition, and I got to give, I don't know whether I should compliment or kind of poke fun at Mark Cuban here because he lost money too. You know, this thing goes to zero. Everybody involved loses it. And real quick, I won't get in the weeds here because I've read a few different blogs, and the company blog from Iron Finance it's entertaining and it's sad because let me give you the end first, Frank. So this is the blog on Iron Finance after the Titan coin stablecoin is worthless. Okay. Skipping down to the very bottom, you guys can Google this Iron Finance blog or whatever it is. We've learned a great deal from this incident, and while nothing could be fixed in the current system, we will continue our journey with more products in the future. Translation, we screwed up this time, but next time, by God, we're going to figure this out. Now, stablecoins, sorry to jump ahead on, and just stablecoins are just backed by a cryptocurrency or a currency. So if you have a USD, US dollar stablecoin, in theory, Frank, if Daniel holds 10 of those, whoever created those or issued those to me has $10 in currency backing that. And it does make sense on stablecoins. That's why you see a lot of banks using them. That's why Facebook is getting into the game because you can just send these back and forth, easy to track. You can settle up later. It's faster. It's efficient. There's a lot of good behind that. There's nothing new under the sun here in finance, Frank. A big seller of this caused the whole damn thing to crash. Algos kicked in. But this stablecoin was not backed 1-to-1. It was just leveraged.
Yes.
It had 75 to maybe 50% of US dollars. Then it had a percentage of this other coin. And this coin is minted and destroyed based on blah, 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 blah. The easy solution here is there's a lot of leverage here. And kudos, here's where I'll give kudos to Mark Cuban. He did a quick Q&A with the Block Crypto website and just said, hey, you know, I didn't look into it enough. It was greedy. I still like decentralized finance. I'm still a backer of the space in general. But he said, you know, I just got greedy. And how greedy, Frank? I don't know about Cuban, but this was in CoinDesk, article from CoinDesk. You were earning 2 to 5% interest a day. Now, until it collapses, that's damn good return.
Yeah, but now you're looking at a lot of companies because I mean, you're looking at tons of companies, tons across the board, tons. I've even interviewed some of these companies that same thing. They tell you how dangerous it is, but they'll provide 4%, 5%, sometimes 12%. You stake your tokens, you earn. That's all good. When everyone's making money, it's fine. But what's going to happen now? Because you're not going to get that. And leverage, again, we saw that in 2008, which is why the market crashed. It didn't crash because of subprime. It was the leveraging of subprime that crashed because subprime only accounted for like 5% of the market or whatever it was, or even less than that in the housing loans. But it crashed because everyone was fully leveraged to it. So when you leverage something and you're forced to sell, I mean, the thing with Cuban, yes, okay, fine. He went on, he explained that, didn't do enough research, but that's telling, right? I mean, when your 17-year-old could come home and say, hey, Dad, buy Dogecoin, it's great. Why? It's just going higher. Okay. And then you're like, wow, my son's an idiot because he tells me he was going higher at 6 cents and it's 70 cents and I could have bought 3 houses. You know what? Something's going to blow up, right? I mean, it's just a matter of time. But the funny thing, and it's ironic that Mark Cuban is now like, we need more regulation on this.
Yeah, that's what I don't
You're the
like.
one that's out there on social media platforms touting something you know nothing about, where people are following you in because you're a billionaire and they think that you did the homework on it, right? That's why people follow us in our recommendations because we show the videos, we're doing the work on it. If we're wrong, we say we're wrong, we take our losses, we move on. But we're doing the work on it. He's admitting, I didn't do the work. If you didn't do the work, why the fuck are you promoting it everywhere? Why are you promoting it? Because
at least he
these people
it,
are so influential. And I know everybody has to make their own decisions. I get it.
Right.
But people are widely influenced all the time, just by the media, by everything. It's very easy to influence people. And you're influencing people to buy something you didn't do the homework on. And it's, to me, that's sad. I like Cuban. I don't have anything against him. Again, people have their strong opinions for and against him, but that pisses me off a little. Now you want regulation. Now you want more regulation. And again, when you have these people calling it, but, I think you're the last person I should say more regulation when you're the one that on all your social media platforms promoting the hell out of this, and a lot of people followed you in, they lost all the money.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's a bummer. And listen, he's got a lot of winners. We'll get to Dogecoin in a minute because I know you're still fired up about that. But that's my biggest problem is I don't mind that you were late. I don't mind you didn't do the homework. I don't mind you just, hey, this is going up, so let's play the game and gamble. You lose everything, lessons learned. The problem I have is now you want more regulation. Outside of just simple disclosures, there's enough disclosures here right away. It's not fully backed by a currency, and it's a blend. If you read anything, or now, maybe they didn't, maybe it wasn't disclosed. I find a hard time believing that. But that's really all you need. And listen, if you follow somebody in blindly, even us, we're going to be wrong at times. So there's nothing wrong about that. And to scream regulation, that bugs me because that is the last thing we need. We don't need more of any of that. We just need to follow the rules like disclosures that we currently already have and move on. Now, the big difference here was it Ellen that he went on and talked about Dogecoin? I think it was Ellen's talk show.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know.
And let's go back and forth on this because I know this fires you up. So what I liked about it is he covered his tracks because what he said was essentially, I don't have the direct quote, but he said, hey, Dogecoin is better than a lottery ticket. I think that's how he framed it. And that's exactly true. It's very hard to argue that. Why? Because a lottery ticket has an expiration date. Okay. They're going to make that drawing on boom, or you scratch this thing off and boom, you win or lose. Dogecoin, which to your point lost, I don't know how many billions of dollars. The damn thing's over 20 cents now. It's up 20% in 24 hours. It still has a $31 billion market cap. Mm-hmm. Okay. So in essence, it's a lottery ticket without an expiration date unless it completely goes to zero, which could happen, but I don't know if it's going to go to zero. I mean, how does it go to zero? Does people just quit creating it and quit using it all of a sudden? I mean, think about what has to happen for it to go to zero.
I mean, maybe that's to zero, but you have to realize that so if you own Microsoft, right? And Microsoft just hit I believe a $2 trillion valuation, one of the few stocks, it's at 52-week high. Not one of the few, NASDAQ's at all-time highs. But if Microsoft has a limited amount of shares, but if they constantly keep issuing and diluting the shit out of shares, there's unlimited amount of shares. There's an unlimited amount of tokens of Dogecoin. So they're just going to keep printing them and printing them and printing them. It's kind of defeats the purpose of crypto, right? It's you want to be against printing, right? That's why Bitcoin is so popular. There's only 21 million, right? So this is totally different. This is like totally different. So this is something where they just keep printing until everyone's like, okay, and you dilute the shit out of it and it goes lower and lower and lower. And it goes back down. But my biggest thing about Dogecoin isn't so much like, hey, you buy shitty assets and they go higher. I've seen it in stocks all the time, and that's fine. I mean, I saw Plug Power go. I mean, somebody just downgraded to a hold based on valuation. And, you know, I have access to the report, and people don't know they lowered their target from like 69 to 30, right? So, in the meantime, you're trying to get, like, I see it. I see people invest in shitty things all the time. The thing for me, Daniel, which pisses me off with Dogecoin, is that I'm looking at something that is perfectly fine in today's world where anyone could go there and trade that. Go open up an account on Coinbase. It'll take you 10 minutes. Go through all the KYC, AML checks. Buy a token that was created as a bullshit token that has, just a limited supply, keeps dumping more of these on the market, and nobody says anything. And yet when we have something where we're spending a ton of money to audit our financials, give people equity stake, pay a dividend, and do the right thing, why is our part of the industry having trouble getting up and going? Which, again, that's changing now, and I'm very, very excited. But why has it taken so long? It's taken so long because everything has gone higher and nobody cares what everything. It's just like I said, I said with SPACs earlier. I said, SPACs, listen, the retail investor, you need someone to basically fuck at the end. And once you do that, that's fine. Now, retail investors are realizing, like, okay, I'm not going to buy something that goes up to 15, 16 when they didn't even tell you or announce who they're going to buy. These things are going to 10, 9, 8. And now they have to disclose all the BS deals that they're doing, these pipe deals. Again, you need someone at the end to screw. And once you screw them, unfortunately, like, let me give you this example, Daniel. When did the SEC and everybody else go after Madoff? When everyone lost money and they got killed. Right, yeah. There was people everywhere warning them. Telling us this is a fraud. It's a fraud. And we don't investigate it when you get destroyed. Yep. That's when they investigate, when you get destroyed. Now people are getting destroyed in a lot of this stuff. Now you're going to see more now you're going to see more regulation coming. Again, these are securities trading as they're not securities. When they come out with this regulation, it's going to be tough for a lot of these things. Not Bitcoin, not Litecoin, not Ethereum and things like that. Those definitely deemed utilities. But these other things, man, it's crazy. It is crazy. They have no utility functions. But that's why I get so pissed at that. It's more about the industry where, listen, I hope you all, if you buy, Doge, I hope you make 1,000,000%. And yeah, I hope you make, everybody makes money on it. But that's my emotion comes in where, how can you let this piece of shit trade where everyone could buy it and we're doing the right thing and we're having trouble. It's taking so long for this industry to develop, which again is changing. Morgan Stanley announcement and all this and great stuff from Hester. But that's what really pisses me off.